Hi everyone, this is Meek, and today I'm going to show you how to do the buttonholes and the neck decreases on Poncho Nicole. I did my poncho in the stockinette stitch and a double knitted one, and as you know, because you use a nifty knitter, you are limited to an amount of stitches. And so I have to divide it in 2 parts for the front and 2 parts from for the back. This is one of the front parts. I made the buttonholes and I did the neck decreases, and as you can see, I did that from that side, and the buttonholes are on the other side of this panel. Today I'm going to show you how to do that on the loom. As I said, I use stockinette, and here is where your working yarn is. You take the other one across the loom and then wrap the way you are used. I'm showing you with this because all stitches have different wrappings, and when you are going to decrease the way for Poncho Nicole, you have to look closer at your wrapping, the way it's wrapped. And as you can see, when you're wrapping back, this one is above the one I had wrapped from the left to the right. So this is the stockinette, and you're knitting the stitches. Okay, the buttonhole. There are 2 ways of doing the buttonholes. When you want a bigger buttonhole, you do the stockinette on the empty pack, and when you want a smaller buttonhole, you do a figure 8 on the empty pack. I will show you. I did my buttonhole in the 4th stitch and the 5th stitch, so it won't be loopy and it will stay straight. How to do that? Here's your working yarn. The most easiest way to do the decreases for the neck is at the beginning of the stockinette. So the buttonholes have to be on the in this case on the right side of the loom, because my working yarn is on the left side. So I start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th stitch you put with the 5th stitch, and you do the same at the back of the loom. And now you are going to wrap the stitch you are doing, in my case stockinette. When you want a bigger buttonhole, around 4 centimeters, you wrap like the stockinette. When you want a smaller one, around 3 centimeters, you wrap the figure 8, and you continue wrapping stockinette. Here again is another empty pack, bigger. You wrap like stockinette, smaller, you do a figure 8, and you continue wrapping like you would do with the stockinette. Okay, last stitch is the first stitch you knit. You knit the stitches. Here you see 2. You knit them together, and the empty pack, there wasn't a wrapping because it was empty, so there wasn't a piece of yarn, or there was no piece of yarn above. As you can see, this was the empty pack with one loop, and this is the knit together pack with 3 stitches on it, and those 2 you knit together, so a little buttonhole will appear. So, and then you continue just doing stockinette, because all bags are having a stitch on it. Okay, the decreases. The most easiest way doing the decreases is from the side where you start wrapping. So in my case, from the left side to the right side. I'm going to decrease 3 stitches now by putting the stitch from the back to the front. I'm doing that with the second and with a third. And now I'm going to decrease like I would in single knitting, but you have to cast off very loose, so take care. This will be a little wider, loopier. Then you do your second stitch, those 2 stitches over the working yarn. Oops, I see if I saw something. There's 2 stitches on the bag. You can put your panel under your loom so it will not happen again that the stitches fall off. So look at it, a loopy stitch with much tension. Here's some other one. Give it as much tension as possible. Stitch over the other stitch, put it back with the knit work. Take care of the tension, loose and loopy. You cast off the other one, put them together on the bag, and knit them. As you can see, there are no single stitches anymore. Here's the stockinette. So I'm putting this last stitch on the first in the front, and then I pull a bit, not too tight of course, and then I'm going to look at my knit work. As you can see, this is the one from the wrapping from the right to the left, and this one is from the left to the right, so the first wrapping. So I continue wrapping like I would normally have done, and I'm giving this example because there are other stitches who have a stitch pattern, and you have to watch carefully to your knit work, otherwise the stitch appears differently here, and that's not what the bedoeling is, what we wanted to have. Okay, usually this would be the last one because but you have to take care that every bag has two stitches on it. So the last one will be wrapped like this in this case. So I'll knit all the stitches now. In the pattern you will see that after this row there is another row without a decrease. I will not do that now because that takes time, and then the video will be very long. Okay. The same you do with 2 stitches, and with one, if you do 1 stitch it is a little bit difference, but not that much. So I do now 1 stitch, because I don't have 2 stitches to cast off. I only knit this one and I pull the stitch with the stitch over here, first stitch in stockinette. Then I'm going to find out where my stitch was going, and I'll wrap the bags in stockinette. Just watch. Has every peg 2 stitches? Yes, and this one has of course 2 stitches, but this is a knit together, so just pull it over. And in this case the stockinette was just the way it should be. So it can happen that you have to do this. And why am I telling you this? There are a lot of stitches are like this, and then there's a kind of stitch pattern in it, and when you do this one over here, so 1 peg before it, it will get another appearance, and that is not what we want to have. Now, after we have done the neck decreases, we are going to put the shoulders on a piece of scrap yarn, so you can pull it off, and just take care that your scrap yarn is long enough that the stitches won't fall off. You can put a knot into it, of course, because now you have to wait until you have done the front or back part of the poncho. Now the other side, so you untie it. First you do the front of the loom and then you do the back. And just take care, don't pull at your stitches, otherwise the tension of the stitches will be much too loose, and then you have to, when you're seaming it, you have to untie it again. Okay, so the back and the front on a piece of yarn that is long enough for the stitches so they won't fall off. But of course you can put a knot into it. So this was a video on a few things I did with Poncho Nicole as the buttonhole and the neck decreases, and as you can see, I haven't knitted here a row without the decreases, which I had done over here. And as you can see, this is a better tension, otherwise it won't fit. There will be some more videos about the poncho. I hope I can help you in a way to create your own poncho. Hope to see you again. Bye bye.